Hey there. Are you booking weddings but still struggling to see real profits? I know the feeling because I've been there. When I transitioned from nursing to wedding design, I thought I was making money until tax season hit. And then I realized I was actually losing money. Here's the problem. I was not tracking my expenses. Okay. This all has to do with earning money and making a profit. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how knowing your expenses can transform your business from just barely surviving like me to thriving. There are several parts to this. So first, I'm going to talk about where do you start. When you're talking about pricing the right way, here's some things you have to consider. One, you have to pay yourself first. Seriously, don't skip this step. Your pricing should always include a salary for yourself. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the point in being in business if you're not earning any money? Secondly, expenses. Hey, over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to take my time and break down expenses because this is so overwhelming. It is a lot. So if you take one bite at a time, eventually you'll get it done and you'll never have to address it again, except to make tweaks, okay? So your expenses, breaking it down step by step, it'll just help you complete each section with ease. All right. Third, taxes, the double-edged sword. We all got to deal with it. All right. Nobody wants to pay it, but we all have to. Okay. I'll be covering how to factor that in your pricing as well over the next few weeks. And finally, profit. Yes, you deserve to make a profit. I'll show you how to build that into your pricing model so that when you factor in all these things, you will finally be making a profit and growing your business. But today, we're going to start with expenses. Um, I was not tracking my expenses in the beginning. Like I said, I came from a nursing background. So I just didn't know I needed to do it. I knew I wasn't making any money. I knew there was a problem. I'm like, you know what? You are smart. You're intelligent. What is the problem? Uh, Something to be said for a little prayer. So I found out that I just by not tracking my expenses, my business was just leaking money. I didn't know that I needed to track expenses. And then when I found out that that was the problem, it just took me a while to get to it because it was just so daunting. It felt overwhelming. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to do it. I'll figure something else out. Well, no, something never figured out. You have to do this part whether you like it or not. If you're in business, you need to track expenses. If you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. Once I started tracking my expenses, accounting for every dollar that I spent, that I put into the business, I was able to adjust my pricing, cut out unnecessary costs, and actually see a real profit. And that's why knowing your expenses is just not something that's nice to do or something nice to have. It's key. It is the key. I tell you, it's the key to running your business. When you know better, you do better. So let's do better. Don't wait until tax season to find out where your money went. Start tracking your expenses now and then take control of your profits. For me, if someone tells me to do something, I want to know why. I want to know why to see if it makes sense. And if it makes sense, then I'll do it. So here's what I found out the hard way. To know your expenses in business is crucial for several reasons. One, profit, profitability and pricing. Understanding your cost ensures that you price your services correctly. It talks when you price your services correctly, we're talking about covering your expenses and generating a profit. Without that, you risk undercharging and losing money. Undercharging is something that we typically do in this industry in the beginning because we're all emotional and it's creative and it's all good, it's going to come together. But you have to have know your expenses in order to make a profit and then to price appropriately. Secondly, tracking your expenses, knowing your expenses helps with budgeting and cash flow. When you track your expenses, you know exactly when things are due. You know that your website, paying for your website services is due in September so that you can plan for that. Cash flow. Without cash flow, you are not in business. Cash flow means the money flowing into your business and the money flowing out your business. If you have more money flowing out your business than flowing in your business, soon you will not have a business. So it's appropriate. You have to know your expenses in order to control your budget and manage your cash flow. Third, decision making. Knowing your financial situation allows you to make business decisions based on the numbers, not on emotion. Can you invest in new equipment? Can you buy those new vases? Can you hire someone to help you? Um, and it also helps with scaling your business. Can you move to the next level? Knowing your expenses help you with decision making. It has nothing to do with this emotional stuff and hope for the better. You have to look at your numbers in order to make good decisions in business. Tax preparation and deductions. We're in tax season now. I always wait till the last minute, April 15th, because that's what I do. But anyway, tax preparation. If you're tracking your expenses when it comes tax time, you know exactly what all your expenses are. You're not rifling through shoeboxes and purses and dealing with crumpled receipts. You'll have all your information gathered, and then you can get the most. You can claim eligible tax deductions, reduce your taxable income, and maximize savings. And then all of that helps you to earn more money and earn a good profit. And finally, financial stability and growth. A clear understanding of your expenses helps you to set financial goals. And it also helps you identify areas where you need to cut costs. It's checks and balances in business. And also it will help you increase your overall profitability. If something is not making money, it doesn't make sense and you have to cut it out. And then sometimes you have to add expenses in order to make your company more efficient. Sometimes efficiency equals profitability. So these are all reasons why you need to know your expenses in your business. These things are crucial. If you know your expenses, you can know if you're making a profit, and it helps you to develop your pricing, to price your services appropriately. It helps with budgeting and cash flow, decision making, tax prep and deductions, and finally, financial stability and growth. So it's just not something that's nice to do. You have to know this in business. And if you want a simple pricing calculator to help you to know what your expenses are and to calculate it, there's a link in the description below. Once you identify and begin to track your expenses, you can use that information to help you monitor your cash flow. That is something that you have to do in business. You have to monitor your cash flow. And once you get all those numbers, it's just easy peasy lemon squeezy. You can monitor that thing day and night. Okay. As I said, for me, I have about 14, sorry about that. I have about 14 to 15 categories of expenses. And today I'm only going to go over about 3 of them and in no particular order. You may have more categories. You may have more expense categories, or you may have less. I'm only going to cover 3 because this is overwhelming. And the goal is to just take this step by step so it is more palatable. I'm going to go over 3. I want you to take these 3 categories and then look at your business, look at your life, plug in what works for you or what expenses you have under each category, and then take your time, get the correct number, match it to that item, and you will have it under your expenses. Okay? So today I'm only covering 3. The first is accounting and legal. These are expenses that you have in your business that you have to account for in order to see a profit and to dictate what your prices are. Accounting and legal. And I know if you're watching this video, you're in business and you have at least 2 accounting and legal. One is a business license. If you're in business, you need a license. Number 2 is insurance. If you're in business, you have to have insurance. You may be at the point where you're like, well, I'm just doing family and friends. That's fine. If it's a business, you need to have those 2 items to keep you out of jail. Okay? And to keep you from being sued. So business license comes under this. Insurance may come under this. Your business entity filings. Are you a LLC? Are you choosing to be an S corp? All of that you pay for once a year. And again, those costs there once a year, and knowing your expenses, knowing when they're coming up, it can help you predict that in your business. Accountant fees, accountant software like QuickBooks. If you choose to use QuickBooks, there's a fee for that. Therefore, it's an expense. And each of your clients get to pay a little bit of that expense, and that's how you come up with your pricing. Okay? Bank charges. Hopefully you won't have any overdraft fees, but you might make a mistake. One that's definitely should be under bank charges is your credit card or merchant fees. That is 3% of the charge. That's an expense that should go over to your client. But you have to let them know they're being charged a fee to use a credit card. Okay. For me, some of my clients that use my services over and over again, I kind of waive that fee. I'll take that off of my profits. It's got to come from somewhere. I'll take that off of my profits if they continue to use my service, and that is just a way of showing appreciation. But either way, it has to be accounted for. Any loan repayments, the interest charge on that. If you're still using checks, or if you have to, for some reason, get a cashier check, those have prices attached to it, and those are expenses that you need to account for. You may have some other bank charges that go under there, but the point is, whatever bank charges that you notice as expenses in your business, write them and attach a figure for it, and that's considered an expense. And finally, for today, car. Oh my goodness. Your car has a whole lot of benefits as far as for what you have to charge for pricing, and also for tax purposes. For your car, there's any maintenance. There's any car accessories, like if you like the cute little license plates or the sparkly things that go around steering wheels, incense, all that falls under accessories, and that's something that you have to account for in your expenses. Okay? Car washes, inspection, insurance, tolls, repairs, personal property taxes. That's that double-edged sword. You claim it on your taxes, but and it's a deduction. They give you a deduction in one hand and then charge you personal property taxes on the other hand. I don't know, go figure. Anyway, parking and tires. So all those car expenses, that's one that may take you a little while to um, figure, to note. But again, take your time. You got a week. I'll be back next week to talk about maybe 3 or 4 more categories. So you have all this week to figure this out, attach those numbers, and get it in an Excel spreadsheet or something. Or you can get the tool that I have linked in the description. That helps you out, makes it much easier. Again, I'm going to stop here, and because it is a lot, and hence the reason for my hesitation in the beginning. But once it's done, it's done. And you will see an improvement in your bottom line if you use the data to your advantage. Okay? So, in closing today, tracking your expenses isn't just a task, it is key to a profitable business. Don't wait until tax season to figure out where your money went. Start today, do a little bit of a time and take control of your profits. And if you need help, like I said, identifying or calculating those expenses, grab my simple tool that is in the description below. And I want you to stay tuned for next week's video where we cover a little bit more expenses. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss it and I can catch this phone call. Take care. Goodbye.